You know it's hard out here for... Wait, it's hard out here for the single folks.
The economy does not favor us singletons.
The single people are struggling. There is a term called the singles tax, and this is a tax that nobody should ever want to pay. What I'm about to show you may be hard to watch, but this is the reality of the single people.
Don't get me wrong, I love being single and I love living alone. It's great, it's fantastic, but it's expensive. I just spent $600 on brakes on my car, just on the front part of the car, because I couldn't afford all four brakes and axles and rotors and whatever the and then now I just paid my car payment, which is $500, so I just blew $1,100 in like 3 hours, and it wasn't even like fun, you know?
Yeah, it don't sound fun to me either. And I've been single before, and that sort of money would make anybody cry.
Sorry, it's just so overwhelming. Like, you work and 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 you work, and it's just to pay off like your basic necessities.
She said, I see the girlies getting their nails done, getting their hair done, lip fillers and Botox and shopping sprees and vacations. And I'm like, how? Now, she almost had me. I was almost with her until I read lip fillers and Botox. I said, we don't want to do all that. But I get what she's saying. Like, y'all got the money to be doing that. And she's probably like, it's because you got a man or you're married or you're in a relationship. She just wants to have extra money to do the fun stuff that a lot of people that are wrapped up in consumerism like to do, like the shopping sprees. And like, everybody loves a nice vacation every now and then, right?
You can't, like, in this city that I live in, public transport, please. If I were to do public transport, it's like asking to get.
And then it says, I'm over here making an honest living with goals and dreams, but it feels like one step forward and 4 steps back. I respect anybody making an honest living. Y'all, we have to not compare ourselves and compare our lives, because you don't know what your future is going to look like. But I get where she's coming from, because if you are doing that and you see other people doing the things that perhaps you are dreaming of, you don't know what it took. You don't know what their experiences was and their journey. And we all are on a different path in life. And it's so important to not compare for this reason. Because as bad as some of y'all think you have it, a lot of people want your life. They want probably her life. It's just something to consider when we're feeling those sort of feelings of feeling less than when we're comparing to other people. But the public transportation thing, yeah, that can be a little scary sometimes. I used to take the bus to go to work, and I didn't have a car when I was 18. I'm 31 now. Yeah, it was some weird people on the bus, but I was broke, so what was I gonna do?
And I really shouldn't be crying, because now I have to go to another work event, and now I'm gonna be all puffy.
Yeah, don't be puffy. Oh, she was really crying.
Living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive.
I'm trying to keep up because there's captions popping up and she's talking. She's also saying here, by the way, I can't afford paying my student loans and credit cards, so I'm getting incessant. Y'all don't try to come for me in the comments. Y'all don't know how to say it neither. Collection calls and wage garnishment threats. Pretty much she's getting threats and she's getting calls about her student loans and about her credit cards. Her situation right here is very common for a lot of people, whether they're single or in a marriage or in a relationship. I just hope that she's able to get her finances under control.
Living is so expensive. Just keeping yourself alive and floating is so expensive.
Yeah, it is. And then it says, oh, and I already have 3 jobs. 3! She has 3 jobs. So don't come at me like, get another job. I don't have weekends. I work days and nights. Goodness gracious. Now, I know a lot of y'all was going to come for her if I wasn't reading. 3 jobs, like a lot of people right now, if you're married or you're in a relationship, you don't have to work 3 jobs to survive or to pay your student loans and your credit cards and all these different things. And, maybe you don't have to worry about that anyway if you have a high paying job. Yeah, a lot of people are working 2, 3 jobs out here. Bless her soul.
Was saying before I was rudely interrupted.
Was it me?
Is if I were to take public transport here, especially for my job requires a car. I have to have a bunch of that I have to lug with me for work. And I can't do that with public transport.
Oh.
I'm venting. Inflation sucks. Living in America sucks.
I don't know about that. It could be worse.
Living alone sucks. It's great, but it sucks.
Right.
Because you have to front all the expenses by yourself.
Yeah. It's okay if you can
I
do
need
it.
a husband just so that I can live. So we can split the bills.
I'm gonna try to put her on extrovertedly. Emily, like, hit her up on her TikTok. She said she taking applications because she's trying to go 50-50. Like, it's hard out. She said it's hard out here for a pimp. Not a pimp, because she's just a single woman. But she said it's hard out here, so she's taking applications. Even with people with a 2-family household, a lot of people are struggling.
And this is a hot topic. It always has been. It always will be. It's the reason relationships start. It's the reason relationships end.
Yeah, Miss Emily said she's trying to get her a man. Look like the proof is in the pudding.
Finances. One of my mutuals, I forget his tag. I love his content. He's a money guy.
SYMONE, trying to keep you out of debt. Hit subscribe, cause it's free.
He was basically breaking down how expensive it is to be single in today's society. If you make $50,000, you're living paycheck to paycheck. If you live like a normal person, you don't live in the hood, you drive a 4-year-old used vehicle, you're living paycheck to paycheck at $50,000 after taxes. But if you date someone or marry someone who's making $50,000 and y'all both get together, live in one place, maybe share a car, maybe not, you went from $50,000 to $100,000. You're living totally different. But that's only if both people are willing to contribute. Hear me out. $50,000 is quite, it's kind of above average. Regular people out here making $35,000 a year. Most people. So imagine you're a guy, you make 50K, she make 50K, but she wants you to pay all the bills, and your money is y'all money and her money is her money. That's like, so if you're a young man trying to figure out how to navigate a relationship financially, here's what I would say you do. And this,
I just first, before he gets into anything else, I want to know, what did y'all think about what he just said when he said, if you're making $50,000 as a man and she wants to have you pay for everything, and she essentially will be keeping her 50 grand. Would the men down in the comments, let me know, is that okay for y'all? Or are you more so of a, hey, we all need to split this 50-50 because it's easier on everybody that way? Because if you think about it, the man would have to then work a lot more if he is providing everything, and he would have less for himself. But does it matter to some of y'all women? I am curious. Let me know down below.
This is very fair to your woman. This is how I've always done it. Especially if y'all make the same amount of money. The bills that we have together, we pay together. If we live together, we split this fucking rent and utilities and all that. Whatever we came into the relationship with, you continue to pay for it. Unless, she sells her car and y'all start sharing a car, then she can help with that car note and that gas and that insurance, right? If she moves out of her apartment and into yours, she's going to be saving her half of her money and half of yours because she's going to be paying half the rent, or vice versa. Everything else, though, I feel like a guy should pay for it. Because women like to be wooed. They like to be taken out and having money spent on them and shit. And men,
it's very true. I'm a foodie myself, so my husband knows what to do.
Men don't necessarily enjoy that as much as women. Right? So date night, you pay for it, man. Like that, you pay for it. Now, if she's the type that want to keep going out all the fucking time and she's the one, hey, I want to go. No, she paying.
Yeah, are y'all okay with paying? I personally take my husband out on dates and I'd be like, I got it. And no, I'm not ashamed. We're married, so whatever.
She paying because at that point, she just using you as a wallet. There's a lot of women like that who drag men along just so they can have somebody to pay for them. They don't even really want bro to be there. They just need somebody there to pay for it. I've seen that.
I've seen it too. He's not lying. I believe people should do what works in their household and what works for their household's wallets. Like, I'm not against anyone that's like, hey, I need my man to pay for everything, and if he don't do it, like, he got to go. It's just not something I would do, because I just don't agree with the whole, hey, they got to do everything, because I would hate to see somebody slaving or like busting their tail for me if I could help take off some load. But I know they're going to be people like, oh my God, no, that's the worst thing you could do. And if that works in your house, like, that's good for you. It's just not that deep to me.
I feel like nobody's talking about this, so I am going to. Why is this that being single is actually so expensive? I have signed up for every hobby you could think of. I have gone on yoga retreats. I have signed up for surfing. I have signed up for pottery, hot yoga, hot Pilates, sitting at coffee shops. I physically have been trying to pour into my cup and fill up my free time, but I didn't know how expensive that this was going to be. And I physically and financially can just not anymore. I just don't know what else to do. I can't believe that this is what life has come to.
Do you know how expensive it is living on your own as a girl with a dog? Like, I've known it's been expensive, but I really just thought about it and I was like, you have your rent, and then you have your utilities, and then you have your phone bill, and then you have your car payment, and then you have your car insurance, and then you have your renter's insurance, and then you have your Wi-Fi, And then you have then after all that, you have to get laundry detergent. You have to get your laundry pads thing. You have to get dishwater. You get paper towels. You have to get your makeup. Then after that's run out, you have to get your skincare. You have to get your feminine products. You have to get dog food. You have to get your dog insurance. You have to get... I'm sure that I'm missing something, but
pay attention. Her total is $2,635. Some of y'all want to go out there balling until you fall, and y'all start doing that Botox, that lip filler. I need lash extensions. I need the expensive facial. I need to go to the nail salon, and I need to get the special package with the wax and all the extra stuff. All of this stuff. When you start doing a lot more, this could be a lot worse. This could be a lot worse. And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of women, they be talking about maintenance. I didn't hear her say hair. Now, we start talking extensions and all this other, like, it can get so expensive. And we ain't even talk about some of the hauls and like some of the expensive habits a lot of women have. Like, they just can't stay out Sephora. They can't stay out TJ Maxx. Go get a whole bunch of Hello Kitty. That's more money. And you know, when the holidays start coming around, they want to go in there and get all the decorations and all the extra stuff. It can get really real. And we didn't even talk about like eating out. Oh my gosh.
that's crazy. This is my invitation. I want to give up my independence. I don't want to be an independent business girly.
Okay, I respect that. She said she need help. She's the second lady on here that said, she said it's hard out here being single. You ain't know that. I'm not even mad at that confession. It's easier when you have two people. It's just simple math.
I know I was forgetting something. And then you have your groceries.
There it is.
Don't even speak to me about how expensive groceries are right now. And I'm thankful for a job and a career where I can live, but like, this is a lot.
And what's crazy is I was just talking about fast food, but she didn't even have the groceries in there. So that new total, you start doing more, people can easily be in the 4,000s. And a lot of people don't make 4,000 in a month. So it's just something to consider, something to make. Like, this is why budgeting is so important, to really know how much you spend and to have that dollar amount so you can know, do you need to make more money? Do you need to cut back on your lifestyle? It is so important to be honest about what you do when you get money, not just swiping your card and not really keeping track or just waiting until you start running low on your card to say, hey, I need to cut back. Because once you have that knowledge and that real hard number, it's easier, in my opinion, to assess what you can contribute into, like, say, a high yield savings account or a savings account, emergency fund, a 401k, and those sort of things, so you can prepare for your future. And that makes me think of something else. When you're single, it's even probably more important to make sure you have some sort of emergency fund, because you can't depend on your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, whatever you got going on. People who have someone to depend on, when they make some dumb decisions or they fall a little short or, something doesn't go how they expected, they're kind of like that backbone they can lean on. But when you're single, you have nobody. Like, it might be your parents or maybe a close friend, but you don't really have that companion to lean on. So you have to be very careful about your spending.
One of the things that single child-free people really want is just the validation and someone to hold the space for them when they say, this is hard. Yes, I know that having kids is hard and being a single mom is hard. Of course it is. That's why we don't want to do it. But every time we try to share that this is really hard to do all of this alone and to do life alone in this economy, it just gets like hijacked by the moms who are like, being a single is hard. Of course it is. But so is ours. And all we want is just the space and ability to be like, hey, it's really difficult to do this. I was sitting on my couch in my apartment that I live in by myself, and I'm fully aware that I could get a roommate, but I'm 43 years old and I kind of don't want that, and I just want to live by myself. Okay. So I was sitting on my couch thinking about, I wonder when I get into a relationship, like, would he move in here? I'm not even actively dating, so I don't know why this popped into my head. But I was like, would he move in here? And I'm like, no, there's not enough closet space. So we would have to upgrade into a 2-bedroom. And then I was like, 2 bedrooms are more expensive. Yeah, but when you're splitting the rent with somebody, like, it's only going to be what, like $300-400 more than what I'm paying for a 1-bedroom by myself. Yeah. So if we do the math, as a single person, I am paying like $1,000 more a month just to exist in my apartment that I don't share and split the rent for with anybody. I would actually be saving money moving in with someone and upgrading to a more expensive 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah. Imagine what I would do with an extra $1,000 a month. So I'm covering the costs of just like life in and of itself, an apartment, all of the bills. I'm doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the grocery shopping. If goes wrong with my car, guess who's got to bring it to the dealership?
Yeah.
Me. Guess whose credit card that goes on? Mine. And yes, I am fully aware that these are all choices. Everything is always.
Well, she said it's hard. We get to say it's hard and also not want to get married to some dusty human to save money.
Choice, right? Like getting married to some dusty dude just so you can be like financially comfortable is also a choice. That is not a choice that I am willing to make, and I am fully okay with my life, and it is hard. It's like choose your own adventure. It's okay that it's hard. It's okay that I'm not willing to sacrifice other things, and I just need a moment to say like, yo, this is fucking hard. So all we want is just a moment of carrying all of this by themselves, and you're doing it alone, and there's nobody to tuck you in at night and be like, hey, good job, champ, or I love you, or oh, baby, let me rub your feet. There's none of that. You're just out here doing it alone all day, every day. And I see you. To my single child free people, I see you. It is hard, and you have every right. You come into this comments and be like, thank you. It is hard for me. And you get to say that it's hard, and no one's going to talk you out of it. I will not hijack the situation, and I'm not trying to win, or nobody's really trying to win like the Struggle Olympics. It's okay that you get to speak and that it's hard.
Not the Struggle Olympics. And then she said, y'all, she ain't getting no foot rub. No foot rub. Yeah, it is hard being single, paying for everything yourself. I've been there, so I get what she's saying.
So one thing that my friends in relationships will never fucking understand is how expensive it is to live alone and be single. Like, they will never fucking know. All of my friends have been in relationships for like a couple years, at least since before, you know, they had significant others to rely on during when like us single people literally just had ourselves. But you know what I say?
What?
I will work 3 fucking jobs just to live alone.
Just like the first lady, she was stressed out. You sure you want to do that?
Ain't no way in hell am I having a roommate in this economy. After I come home from a long day of work, I am not fucking coming home to some musty ass roommate digging through the fridge after I just bought groceries.
Why did I just think of like some dude with his shirt off, extra hairy, drinking a thing of milk?
No, I will work 3rd shift at Target just to make ends meet and live by myself. Because no way in hell am I having a roommate or sleeping next to a significant other that lies and cheats on me. Yeah. Single life is for me, and I will completely work my ass off and work myself into a grave to keep my peace.
I respect it. Like, everybody has their choice. Like the last lady said, you got to choose what's best for you, and what works for you is not going to work for the next person. You just got to be able to deal with the financial, repercussions or the benefits.
It's not feasible to be single in this economy, and it makes sense why so many people are in relationships. I'm a hater, but it's true.
You're not a hater.
Because the economy does not favor us singletons. And personally, I think that's quite literally rude when we have no help. I mean, some of y'all are in relationships and you're still not getting no help, but that's no here nor there. That's not my problem. I'm speaking for us single people.
But did she lie?
In fact, you might as well be single. Just join us. You are single. You're with us. It's not feasible to be single in this economy. It's ridiculous. And it makes sense why so many people are in relationships. Now, some of you guys are happy. I'm a hater, but...
Don't be a hater.
It's not feasible.
Okay.
So,
she's
applications, send them through.
Look, another one with the applications. She said it ain't all it cracked up to be. Lord have mercy.
Just coming. It gets colder. The heating goes on for longer.
She said winter coming.
Let's save some money.
I definitely think there is a singles tax. It's much more expensive to be single than to be in a relationship.
Right.
If you're single and living alone, you don't get the economies of scale. So instead of having a partner to split expenses with, you cover everything yourself.
Right.
Take a look at South Carolina, which ranks right in the middle among all states in terms of cost of living. MIT calculates that the typical expenses for 2 working adults with no children total around $47,483 a year. By contrast, a single adult with no children has estimated expenses of $29,880 annually.
So for the one working adult, this is how much they're going to bring in every month. Oh yeah, it's hard out here.
It means a single individual has at least $6,000 more in expenses per year compared to individuals who are splitting their bills with their partner.
I have to cover all of my living expenses, medical costs, travel expenses, food, etc. Like everything is on you. There's really no splitting the bill, which is what's so nice about having a partner or being in a relationship.
Break down the typical expense even further, and you can see that nearly every type of expenses, apart from medical, is cheaper per person for couples who have the luxury of splitting the check.
True. No, there's a group of people that absolutely hate men. There's a group of people that absolutely hate women. I think that the economy wants a lot of people single. Like, they're pushed out agendas to just men to hate women, women to hate men. And then what happens? They end up being single and they end up saying, I hate men. And then they say, I hate women. And then meanwhile, they're struggling in their 1-bedroom apartment or 2-bedroom apartment. The agenda of being single is being pushed out in music, it's being pushed out in media, and it's being pushed out in social media by other people who do not like the opposing gender. And who I think this ends up helping is companies, because you then end up being at the job doing more labor. Also, I think it ends up helping the credit card companies because you don't have anyone to rely on in the event that there is an emergency or any unforeseen financial distress, which then opens up the possibility to predatory loans or things like buy now, pay later, where you end up having a higher chance of being in debt. And they're like, oh my God, I got to work all this overtime. I got to work 3 jobs in order to stay afloat. But I hate men and I hate women. But then behind the scenes, they're like, I want a man. I want a woman. It's like, well, you got to pick. Like, which one is it? Makes me think, is it just because society or the people you watching is feeding you into the idea of you should be turning on the very people that might be able to help you? Or is it just like a pride thing? I don't know. Some of y'all need to start thinking for yourselves and start watching all these podcasters that are like, oh, turn on these people and then we all gonna kumbaya together. They not gonna give you no sort of help when you paying these bills. So I'm saying do what is best for you. Stop being so stubborn and acting like you don't need nobody unless you really just don't want nobody. That's your choice. Make it a choice that you made yourself, not because you've been watching podcasters. Now you part of the she-man woman hater or the he-man woman hater club. You know, nothing wrong with 2 people coming together for the greater good. I don't know what society has told y'all.
Dating a financially stable woman is actually one of the most underrated blessings, bro. And guys, I will tell you this right now, don't ever settle for less. Date someone who can actually afford your needs and can take care of you. Because as a man, you deserve to be taken care of. Don't let anyone tell you different. You deserve to be taken care of, so date that woman that can afford you. Now, if you're a man and you saw that video and you agreed with it, you are a bum. Boy. Better stand up and get to work.
Oh my God.
You want a man to be taking care of you from where to where? Better go and provide for your family, Joe. Be looking for a woman to take care of you, idiot.
It was the accent coming in out of nowhere. A lot of people going to agree with him in the comments too.
I live on my own as an 18-year-old. Let's talk about my living expenses and how I can afford it. If you are looking to see what to plan for, or if you have plans to move out soon, I will be telling you exactly what I spend each month. The most important thing that I want to preface is that it truly does not matter how much money you make. It is just so important that you budget your money. The only reason I can happily afford $1,500 in rent is because I budget my money and I pay close attention to where my money goes.
Look, I like that she's 18, budgeting her money. That means she knows what is what she's spending, how much is coming in, how much she spends. Like, this is good. Let's see what's
There are days that I have to turn down expensive plans because rent is almost due. Sorry, can't go out to eat tonight. This is just a personal preference, but I do give 10% of my income into tithes and offering.
Okay.
That is just something I like to do. Rent and utilities, I pay $1,500 in rent, plus water, which is around $20, and electricity, which is around $80. Trash and Wi-Fi is about $60 combined, plus my apartment charges pest control and community service fees, which is about $30 altogether. I also am required to have renter's insurance, which is about $15 a month. I spend about $15 a month on car washes. That's just something that is important to me. I like to have my car clean. It just helps me feel better.
Okay.
I am very blessed to have a car that is completely paid off. So I only have to pay insurance, which is about $85 a month. Gas for me is about $70 to $80 a month, which I know is probably very surprising. Now, this could change on different months, that I need work done to my car, or if I need an oil change that month or something like that. I spend about $400 to $500 a month on groceries just for myself, which is about $100 or so a week. I personally love cooking and have this in my budget, but on weeks where money is short, ramen it is.
Okay.
I also give myself a $100 fast food allowance. This includes my coffees and Chick-fil-A runs and random snacks that just look too good.
Love some Chick-fil-A.
As far as personal things go, I spend about $30 for subscriptions. This includes things like Amazon, Spotify Premium, things like that. Yeah. Definitely not necessities. I also spend about $100 to $150 on doctor's appointments, and that does include therapy. My phone bill is around $30 a month. Depending on the month, like if it is around Christmas or a loved one's birthday, then I add gifts into the budget and will sometimes give myself shopping or nail money, but to be honest, that has not happened in a while. It is so important to know how much living alone can cost.
Yes.
And it really does add up. But we got this.
I like the last clip because it was very realistic and it shows younger people like in the Gen Z generation that it can be done if you're in a budget. And she seemed like she had a well-balanced life. I think that was very inspirational and something that a lot of people need to see. But y'all, let me know what you think about the singles tax down below. Do you think that single people have it way harder in this economy? Or do you think that people that are married, that have children and things of that sort have it way worse than them? Y'all comment down below, and we have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.